Amazing conference. It's such a pleasure. I'm normally a journalist, most recently working with Aljazeera, and I'm from the Philippines originally, where we have our own interreligious conflicts. And the more time I spend covering the situation in Southeast Asia and indeed the world, particularly in the Middle East, I always am just horrified and deeply saddened by the amount of conflict that we have in the names of different religions. We heard a kind of structural framework for thinking about whether peace is possible just now, and we're going to try and take some of those ideas in the panel now to discuss them from the very different and distinguished points of view of the panelists that we have here. It's a real honor and pleasure to have them here, and I really hope that we can get some fantastic insights from them. Just to introduce everybody, to my immediate right is Prematilaka Serisena from Malaysia. He's with, there's a really long name. He's with the Malaysian Consultative Council of Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, Sikh and Tao. And what this is a government-recognized coalition of non-Muslim organizations, so they consult each other on religious issues. And I'm sure that must be a lot of fun. I wish I was a fly on the wall when those meetings happen. Having lived in Malaysia for 5 years. Okay, to Prem's right, of course, we have Venerable Paisal Visalo from Siam-Thailand, and he probably needs no introduction. Many of you are familiar already with his work and wisdom. To his right, we have Dharmachari Lokamitra. He has lived in India for the last 35 years and done a lot of work with the Dalit community and converted to Buddhism. To his right is my compatriot, actually, Charlito, Kaloy, Manlupig from the Philippines. He mediates in a peace process between the government and a splinter communist group, and in Mindanao, which is one of the most violent regions, I hate to say that, but one of the most beautiful regions as well of the Philippines. And to his right is Khalid Samad. He is actually on the central committee of the PAS party here in Malaysia, and also the Member of Parliament for Shah Alam. So as you can see, we have a panel of people who are trying to make interreligious peace a reality. There are those of you who probably looked at the theme of this and saw it and thought, is peace possible? I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I thought, well, it should be. Like, the ideal is, of course, yes, peace is possible. I can bring peace into my household. I can bring peace into my heart. It should be possible to bring peace to the world, shouldn't it? And then you hear someone like Dr. Zani explain how, well, it's really hard actually. Can I ask for your reactions and thoughts on the speech we just heard and what we're doing here today? If I may just go one by one in this direction. Thank you very much indeed, Prem.
Thank you. Very good morning. Selamat datang ya kepada Malaysia. So as
Prem, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to mention, if we could keep it to about 5 minutes each, would that be okay, please?
Is there a timer here? Okay, let me start with a pantun ya. Silat, taekwondo, selembang, wushu, kuatkan tulang menjadi kebal. Rakyat bersatu, negara maju. Malaysia dijulung di pentas global. It is a pantun, it's a poem in English. It says that Silat, Taekwondo, Selembang, which is with the Hindus, and Wushu with the Chinese. We do this to strengthen our bones and so that we become strong. The citizens of Malaysia, united, the nation will progress. Malaysia is held high in the global world. So the question today, is peace possible? Yes, I'm a Buddhist. The Buddha said peace is possible. It is possible if we are sincere, if we understand each other, if we understand each of us belong to different races, belong to different religions. it is possible. The pluralism of religion must be accepted. Number one, it must be accepted. Let me tell you, we take offense. I, as a Buddhist, take offense to be referred to as a non-Muslim. A non-Muslim is not a religion. There nowhere in the world is there a religion called non-Muslim. Alright? There are Muslims, but there are also Buddhists, there are also Christians, there are also Hindus, there are also Sikhs, there are also Taos, and there are also those of other faiths. This diversity must be accepted and appreciated. If we do not appreciate this diversity, this pluralism, we will always talk about peace. Is it possible? It is. What is in our minds? Today is Deepavali. It's a festival of lights. Can we use this occasion to light up our hearts and our minds to appreciate each other? Once we do this, we have lesser problems. One Malaysia, they talk about understanding, accepting, and celebrating. This is the Malaysian roadmap. As far as Majlis is concerned, this is a very long name, it's the alphabet soup, but it is the only way to keep everybody happy. So that the Buddhists are referred to as B, the Christians are referred to as C, the Hindus as H, the Sikhs as S, and the Tao, who came later, as T. So when we say that we use the alphabets, then nobody gets upset. Yeah? If they come last, it's okay because they chose to be named as Taoists. So this is something we did in order to have a balance. MCCBCHST, the alphabet soup, we are 30 years old. But what is our roadmap? Our roadmap is this. For Malaysia, there is only one roadmap. Many faiths, one nation. Our diversity must be accepted. Our pluralism must be accepted. There is no tolerance in this. There is no tolerance in this because I'm different. As a Buddhist, I'm different from the Muslims. As a Christian, the Christians are different from the Buddhists and the Muslims. The Hindus, the Sikhs and the Taos all have unique traditions, unique teachings, which are profound. We are no lesser than the other. So we must stand up and be recognized as Buddhists. We must stand up and recognize as Christians. We must stand up and be recognized as Hindus, Sikhs, Taos or any other faiths. Not to be categorized as non-Muslims. Because that becomes superior, inferior. We are not the same. So the non-Muslims are not the same. So as far as Majlis is concerned, our advancement from year 2013 and above is that we want to be recognized as different religious components existing in Malaysia. We do not want to be classified as non-Muslims. Thank you.
Asking the question of is this possible is like asking is enlightenment possible? As Buddhists, we would say, of course, enlightenment is possible. But enlightenment possible in terms of individual, not enlightenment for all people. The same as this can be applied to peace. Peace for all, or eternal peace may be difficult or impossible, but peace for particular place in particular time is possible and it should be. From Buddhist perspective, there are two levels of peace: inner peace and outer peace. What Monk Sunny informed us this morning is mainly about the socio-political peace, which is very important. it is the external peace that should be realized. But this is possible only when inner peace has been achieved. Inner peace will contribute to the culture of peace and will encourage the system or structure of peaceful coexistence, free from exploitation, free from oppression or even war. Regarding inner peace, you have to be free from conceit, attachment of ideas, and craving. These three set of kilesa, tanha, mana, tithi, and tanha is the root cause of violence, not only to oneself but also to the others. The war around the world in many places are caused by the conceit, the sense of superior conceit regarding race, ethnicity, language, or religion. Attachment of ideas also lead to violence. In Thailand, we have a conflict and violence between different groups, different political groups, and in many countries, the violence because of religion, political ideology is widespread. I think that religion should be the vehicle for peace, because all religions aim to reduce selfishness, reduce self-conceit. But in reality, we have to agree, we have to confess that religion, a lot of religion, including Buddhism, has been used to justify violence especially against the people of different religion. Religion, including Buddhism, has been used to sanction violence against the other group of people, even against its own people who have different idea about religion. I think that it is very important for religion, especially Buddhism, in order to create peace. The first step is to avoid being the source of hatred, avoid being the source of discrimination, avoid being the source of violence. Because even we as a Buddhist, sometimes we feel that we are superior to other religions. Even among the Buddhists, there is a division among Theravada and Mahayana. Theravada people or Theravada monks feel that they are superior to Mahayana people, and vice versa. Even among the Theravada, there are differences among Buddhists, Thai, Myanmar, Sri Lankan, and each national Buddhist seems to regard themselves as superior to the other people of the same Mahayana tradition, or the same Theravada tradition. I think that we have to be fair and to be sincere ourselves, to be sincere to our religion, to be sincere the teaching of the Buddha, that try to be self-critical, try to reduce the self or the superior conceit in our mind, and try to regard the other people as the human being, not to see only the difference, but also see the commonalities between other people, either Buddhist, either Mahayana, Theravada, either Buddhist or Muslim or Christian. First of all, we are human beings, as Mom Sunny mentioned this morning, that first of all, we are human beings. we should see the commonality in this aspect too. Without such a perspective, it is possible for religion to instigate violence. So this is my reaction.
Fellow human beings, thank you for giving me this opportunity. One of the main hurdles in peace today, and I suspect throughout history, has always been religion, ironically. And one of the greatest religious innovators of recent times, I believe, has been Dr. Ambedkar, amongst whose followers I'm working with in India. And I want to say a few words about his approach to Buddhism.